303 here. So you need a Windows machine, and I'm using just the copy of the Windows 10 machine. Oh, and the thing I wanted to warn you is, I added a Windows 11 machine to Project PMA 41, but the problem is Windows 11 requires a TPM, and it encrypts some files, and it encrypts them, and we don't know the password. So as far as I know, if you download this, you can't run it on any machine except the machine I created it on. So don't bother with this. I'm going to take it down. I think we're going to have to keep using Windows 10 until VMware improves its support for Windows 11. This is because Windows 11 support is kind of in the beta right now. And you use something called auto encrypt that encrypts it, but then you can't move them to another machine. So we'll just have to stick with the Windows 10 machine until they fix that. Anyway, so let me get IDA Pro, and then I'm supposed to load up lab 0501 not this one, lab 0501, get rid of this, .dil, okay. So disassemble a new file, okay, desktop, malware, 5, lab 0501.dil, there we go. All right, so it's going to ask me how to analyze the file, and I just accept the default analysis. And it's loading it, and here we are. All right, so it starts by showing me the graph view of the code running that launches the early part of the program. All right, and now we can make a few adjustments to make this better. If you notice in graph view, it does not show us the actual bytes of these commands, so we can get those with options general. Okay, and here we want to change the number of opcode bytes to 6, so it will show us the bytes, and also I think line prefixes, yeah. Because it doesn't show us the addresses of these modules either. So I can turn on line prefixes and opcode bytes, and now it looks like this. Now it'll tell me, I'm in the text section, it gives me the address, it shows me the actual raw bytes. In addition to this, that makes it more useful. All right, and so that's the graph mode. Now we can go back to text mode by just pressing the space bar, and here you get the old layout of the text mode. And this is the text section, and up here is the horizontal bar of the different regions. Right, and regular functions are here. This is unexplored data and so on. Anyway, so all right. So now we go back to graph mode, and we're going to find the import for get host by name. So spacebar takes me back to graph mode, and now I want to look at imports and find get host by name. Now I might have it already here. I do already have it here. I could get it from view, open subview, but it's already here. So here's imports, and now I want to find get host by name. Now I can sort them alphabetically, and now it's alphabetical, but these are the capital letters sort in one area and the lowercase letters in another, because it's really sorting just by ASCII value. So that's a thing to be aware. And so get host by name is down here. There it is. All right. And now I think I just double click it. Let's see. Yeah, double click it, and then click it, yellow highlight secure, and Control X. Okay, so I double click it here, the import, and it takes me to the place where that string is stored in memory in the iData section. This is the import data section. So when you click one of these, it will then highlight those. And now if you hover over that, I guess you don't hover over it, click Control X. You do it, Control X. Yeah, Control X will show you the cross references to get host by name. And here you find the references to it in code. These are all the routines that use it, and these are all call get host by name. So these are the commands that actually use it. And the one we want is the one here with a +101 in it. So that is going to be this one here. There's two of them. It looks like the two are actually the same. So I don't know why there are two of them. Exactly the same address. I guess either one will do. That looks like kind of a defect. If I double click that, it should go there. And here we are calling get host by name. And see, here is a readable message. This is PICS, practical analysis. All right. And so I think there's a flag defined around here. Right, it loads this. All right, so what it's going to do, you can see what it does here. It loads something from an offset here, and then adds something D, and then pushes EAX. This pushes a name. This loads an address or something to a name, and then it calls this. So it's looking up some DNS name here. This is going to be the DNS name. And if we were running in a debugger, we could put a breakpoint here and see what that name was. Otherwise, we'd have to try and figure it out from this offset. So that's one thing. And if you scroll around here, you can see what the thing does. If you just look for the gray letters, that's the readable messages. So this is pix.practicalmalwareanalysis.com. This is RDO. Here's socket error. Close socket. Here's plug key. Here's xkey.dil. So you can see something about what it's doing in this area. So it's doing some kind of network loading and network connection. This is probably the beaconing home. All right. And so there's a flag defined here. And then I want to find code that references cmd.exe. This code here does some kind of networking. But now I want to find the code that does cmd.c. So I go to strings and look for command.exe to find the code that executes arbitrary commands. So I might have a strings tab, but I don't. So I do view, open subview, strings. Oops, view, open subview. All right. There, strings. All right, and now I want to find CMD, so I think I can just do Control F. Yep, and then cmd.exe, and there it is, cmd.exe.c. All right, and so I think I just double click it to go where that is. Which is not obvious. Let me go back. Oh, well, that's rude. Oh, it went to some other window. That's right. Here's my strings. All right, here's my strings. All right, so let me see the deal here. Double click it, then you go to I to view A, and you'll see the string in text mode. So here's the thing. At this location, X doors, with that address, I double click it. And now I am, I think on some, I to view A. I'm still in I to view A. All right. I seem to be somewhere strange, not where I want to be. All right. cmd.exe. All right, let's figure out what's going wrong here. Let's go to my strings, and I'm going to get rid of this search. Perhaps the search somehow betrayed me. In the past, I did it by just scrolling. So let me do it that way. Here's cmd.exe. Here's command.exe. Okay, so if I double-click it here, then it goes here, encrypt magic number. Oh, here's all these strings. Master. Oh, here's strings that are stored. Okay. And here's encrypt magic number, machine idle time. Here's cmd.exe. Okay, what's weird is this highlight down here confused me. There's the cmd.exe. Okay. And here's command.exe, and here's the cross-reference that uses it. So I double-click that, and now I get to the code that uses it, cmd. This is where I wanted to go. It's very easy to fall off the track like I did there. It's very easy to get lost in IDA Pro until you get used to it. So here, this thing on the left executes cmd.exe. The thing on the right executes command.exe. So this is 32-bit commands, and these are 16-bit commands. And if you scroll up here, you'll see more readable strings that show you what's happening. There, hi master with code. This is what's talking to the owner. Your bot, it says hi master, then you give it commands, you choose commands, and you can execute commands from up here. So this is the loop that handles the interaction with the botnet. It's a bot, and this is what executes arbitrary commands. All right. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's all you have to do with that one. Now there are some challenges here where you just have to analyze some crackmes. So let me download one of these and show you that. These ones we've done various ways. I think the same one's probably in Ollie. But anyway, I download this. And I want to allow, oh, I'm on the wrong machine. But I go on this machine here and download it. All right. If I go to samsclass.info, okay. And then I'm on 26, projects, and down to the IDA project. Which is here. Okay. And down to the end, if I can get there. Ah, good. Right. So here we go. I'll download the first one. And it should be there, going into some folder, like my downloads folder. Good. All right, so let's see if I can run it from the command line. If I go into downloads and do a directory, it could be called, let's do a directory of star.star. There it is, crack me. So can I run it? Okay, can't run because MSVCR100 is missing, and that tends to happen. This is because there's a Microsoft redistributable library, and the professional way is to install that library, but if you're a slob, you just download the DIL and put it in the same folder, which is what I'm going to do. There, now I have that DIL, that's the library in the folder. Now it should run. There we go. So usage is crack me password. So if you put in a password here, it then says fail. And there's some correct password that would say you succeed. So you can, all right. So we can analyze that thing with IDA. So let's use IDA Pro to analyze it and find the string. And the way we're going to find the string is by looking for the strings we saw, like fail. So you run the program, you see a string of fail, and now you can, let's see if I can figure out how to get back to IDA. Here's IDA. So let's open it in IDA. Don't save the old one. And open the new one, which is in my downloads folder. And it's crack me, there it is. Okay, analyze it in the default way. And it was linked with debug information. And there's a symbol, but the symbol is not there. I'm going to say don't bother, I don't need that. All right. Okay, and now notice I'm just seeing some kind of start routine that isn't the good stuff here, which is irritating. The way I like to find the good stuff is just go to strings. View, open subview, strings. And now, right here it says fail. You found the password, that's what we want. So if I just double click fail, it will take me to where this fail is stored. And if I double click the xref, it'll take me to the code that uses fail. So here's the code that says fail. Here's the code that says you win. And here it pushes a string called top secret and does a comparison, a string comparison on it. So obviously the right password is top secret. And up here it should do like a read from the user. Which is not obvious, but anyway, that's the point. You can see the logic here. And so you can analyze these programs this way and figure out how to make them work. And these are all based on one I learned a while ago from European Malware Analysis class I took. It was very nice. They got me started in doing this because they showed it was really pretty simple to analyze malware, far simpler than I thought it would be with these modern tools. I thought the only way to do it, oops, I got to use my other. I thought the only way to do it was to use, to just read all this assembly and trace it through it. But these tools make it much easier. You don't really have to read that much of the assembly. All right, and so there's a few of these to solve. So that's this project I wanted to show you. Let me stop this recording.